Hi, it's Skip from Skip's Messy Workbench, and I just want to do a little introduction to this video that I'm about to do, because I had some camera blur shots in this video, and it's because I'm doing quite a bit of close-up work. I think since I shot this video, I might have that problem taken care of for future videos. However, I kept this video intact because the blurred shots, okay, it's annoying to me, all right, but it doesn't affect what I'm doing in this video. And what I'm going to be doing is showing you a method that I tried and seems to work for getting rid of raised panel lines. And because I'm building a B-24, there's a lot of panel lines and they're raised. This method should work whether you're doing planes or cars or tanks or whatever. But it's a method that I saw online and I tried it. And it seems to work really well for getting rid of the raised panel lines and making them recessed. So I hope you enjoy. Stick around and and watch the video. Thanks. See you in a minute. See you in a couple of minutes down in the shop. Hi all, it's Skip from Skip's Messy Workbench, and this is going to be a challenging video for me to make, more from the production side of it than I think anything, because some of the stuff that I want to show you what I'm doing is going to be maybe a little difficult to see on camera. As you all know, those of you who are watching, I am in the process of building a B-24 bomber, and the molds on it are somewhat old. The kit itself is not old, but the molds I can tell were old because they have raised panel lines. And I've never really done what I'm about to do. So let me zoom in. I'm trying to zoom in here. I can't see if I lost focus or not, but I think you can see that I'm sorry, I'm looking for something here. I think you can see on here that there are raised panel lines, that these panel lines are raised off the surface of this model. And I'm going to get rid of those, but I don't want to sand them off. What I want to do is I want to make them inset or recessed panel lines. And I did some research on a way to do that. Now, I don't have a real steady hand, so following that raised line is really not an option for me because I tend to wiggle around. However, I saw a video on YouTube a little while ago of a fella who looked like, to me, it was a way to get rid of the raised panel lines and get them to be recessed in a way that, you know what, I think I can handle it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Now, I've already started this half. The reason I'm not using this half in the video is because, now you can see here, I think, that some of these panel lines are already recessed. and I did it using the method I'm gonna show. So what he suggested, because I wanted to use a straight edge, I wanted something to hold a line here, and I'm thinking, what am I going to use as a straight edge on here? Tape isn't really thick enough to get an edge on it. Holding a ruler on these is not going to be a way to do it. Taping something straight on it was not going to really work in this case. So I saw in the video that the fella, and let me come back out of here a little bit. Okay, I saw what he was doing, and he used Dymo label tape. And this is the type of Dymo label tape that is used for the embossed labelers. In other words, it's the tape that the Dymo label maker puts a raised letter on it. So there's some thickness here. As a matter of fact, the thickness of this tape, let me just see, I didn't even measure this. The thickness of this tape is about 0.012, which is about 0.3 millimeters, which gives a nice edge to it. So I'm going to use this as my straight edge, and it is sticky. And what I found is that I can use it multiple times. So it's not like you're going to cut a strip and then have to, throw it away. Because, I mean, this stuff isn't expensive, but, I'm not frugal, but at the same time, I don't want to waste product either. So what I did was I took a mark on here as to what line I wanted to do, and I'm just, like I said, for this video I'm just going to do a small demonstration, and so I'm going to do, and again, this is going to be hard to see. This is a raised panel line right here, and I'm going to do this one on camera. So all I did was I pulled enough tape out so that the length of it would cover that particular panel line, and I just used my scissor and I cut it. Now, something that I did was, because this tape is fairly wide. I mean, it's not the widest tape they make, but it is wide, and it is it is about probably 3/8. Probably easier to use a ruler, and it doesn't matter how wide it really is. It really doesn't. But it's 3/8. All right, so it's 3/8. Anyway, what I did was, because I have a straight edge over here and I have a straight edge over here, I took my scissor and I cut this in half, but I made sure that it was a little crooked or wavy, so that I know which side is the straight side and which side isn't. So I cut this in half, just like that, so that now I have a straight side and I have a wavy side, which I know is not the side I want to use. And then I peel the backing off of the tape. So it's not too difficult. I know the gun itself gives you a nice little cut line, but this tape comes off the backing comes off pretty easy. Honest. I'm sorry if you hear something running in the background. It's my clothes dryer. Got to do some laundry. Anyway, I take the straight side then, and I will come down here, and you know what? I need my visor on to do this. And I will then take this straight piece and I'll get it on that line. and I'll stick it down. Now I've got a line to follow. So I'm not just going to start though with my scribing tool. What I'm going to do is, what I did here was I took a standard stick pin. If I open up my pin vise, it's a standard stick pin that, you know, I took out of a sewing kit, and I cut the head off of it up here so that it fit into my pin vise, and I put it in my pin vise such that it was somewhat short, so that it's somewhat short, so that it doesn't bend. And all I did was, using the weight from my pin vise, and I started scribing along the edge of that tape. So all I did was I started scribing. I held, and I think my hand might be in the way maybe, but I just put it up against, and I just used some light moves to just start scribing along the edge of that tape. So just that I start to get I'm putting very little, if any, pressure on it at all. And I just want to get a line started. You can see a little, I think you might be able to see a little bit of plastic on there already. But I just want to get this thing started. Okay? Then I took my scriber. Now I have a Tamiya scriber, which I think most model builders probably have. And this blade comes out, as you can see. All right, I have a scriber like this, and this would work fine. So don't think that it wouldn't work, because it would. But I'm not going to use this particular scriber. What I'm going to use is my fine engraving blades. These are Tamiya's, and this happens to be a 0.5 millimeter blade. Now the blade has a handle to it, which is this handle. You can see that this handle, the blade itself, and I'll see if I can get that up there. The blade itself, I might have lost focus, but the blade itself has a little hook on it, which is really, they're very sharp. They break easily, so you got to be careful, but I just put it in my tool, and then I use this scriber to finish off the scribe cut. So let me come down here and just start to run this scribe along the edge of that tape. And these tools are really nice and sharp. As you can see, the plastic just peels right off. I have a little more control over these than I do the larger Tamiya scriber. So that's all I'll do for this one. All right, and once that's done, I just take the tape off. And I'll put this aside because I'm going to use that piece of tape again, because there's enough sticky on it in order to use that again. And let me get this visor off. And again, it might be very difficult to see, but let me zoom down in here. But this now has a recessed line in it instead of the raised line. Now you'll see that the tape left some residue here. Real easy to take care of. I take some 91% IPA, that's isopropyl alcohol, on a little bit of a towel, and I just rub it lightly, and it comes right off. Comes right off. And I've got a nice recessed line in here that you know, I'll have to sand that off a little bit later, but I'm going to make that a little deeper than it is right now, but it's a nice recessed line. So there's a lot of panel lines to do. It's not the type of job that you can do in a couple of minutes. So this is going to probably take me, you know, several hours to get the fuselage done, and then also the wings have all the panel lines that need to be recessed. You know, need to be, but I want to recess them. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys and gals. I thought it was a great idea to hold a straight line for panel, and again, you can use this tape over and over again. I noticed that I used it maybe about 3 times before it didn't stick as well anymore. So, I mean, you use your own judgment as to how many times you want to use it, but this looks like it's going to be a great way to make those raised panel lines recessed panel lines, and I'll feel more comfortable that it's done. Now, once that's finished, I have another tool that I bought years ago that I actually haven't used yet, and I'm gonna get it because I didn't think I was gonna do this in this video, but right now my microphone cord is a little bit tangled and if I walk away I think I'm gonna pull the whole camera down. So oh yes, I know, I wish you could see the mess I have here. But then again, my channel is Skip's Messy Workbench. Okay, I got to get over to my toolboxes where I'm trying to head. Okay. I'm just going to put the mic down for a minute. Okay, I'm back. But I have these little tools here, which I can use then to put the rivets on. And I have a couple of different sizes. So you can see I have a smaller size, I have a little bit larger size, and then there is a larger yet. And I've never used these before, so this is going to be a new venture. I'm not going to do this, I'll do another video on this, but I've got to decide which size I want to use for this. These are made by Excel, I believe. Yeah, EXCEL. And you just run them then along the panel line to make rivets. The rivets naturally will be also recessed, even though in an actual plane they would not be recessed. But I'm going to give it a try. I just, like I said, never tried these before, so it'll be interesting. Anyway, that's coming up in a while. I'm working in the shop today because here in Pennsylvania, it's actually July 1st, and it's a cloudy, and boy, it's been humid here. I mean, it's been really humid here. So it gives me an opportunity to work in the shop because I hate being out in humidity. I think most people do. So anyway, that's that. And I think that's going to be it for this video because I feel like it's getting a little long. Anyway, hey, thanks for watching, everybody. I'd appreciate a thumbs up, helps the algorithm. And I posted about 12 videos recently of the World War II air show that is held in Reading, Pennsylvania, the first weekend in June. So if you're into military aircraft, if into they actually had some Panzer tanks. I'm not into tanks and stuff, but so the videos didn't focus on that. But I did take a little bit of video of some of the tanks and jeeps and trucks and stuff. So and they do reenactments. It's a great weekend, actually. If you ever get a chance to be here in eastern Pennsylvania, it's in Reading, Pennsylvania. I believe that's Lancaster County. Again, please, sorry if I'm wrong on that, but it's always the first weekend in June, and I left some web links in those videos in case you want to check out their website. Anyway, I digress as I'm rambling on again. I want to thank you again for watching. I hope this helped a little bit, and I found that it works for me. So hope everybody's okay. Listen, everybody have a great 4th of July, and pray for our servicemen, and pray that you keep them safe. Thank them for doing their duty and serving our great country, because I think we still are a great country. So anyway, see you all later. Thanks. Bye. I want to thank you all for watching, and if you like what you saw, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, you can give it a thumbs down, but you know, I would prefer a thumbs up. And do me a favor, if you really liked it, smack that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when I release new videos, give that bell a ring and set it to all. I don't release a lot of videos, so I won't be bugging you that much. Anyway, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.